to find out, James brought it here, to the German Alps.
Right, I'll get straight to the point. It is tremendous. The important thing to remember about this car is this. It's not an off-roader, it's not an SUV. First and foremost, it's a Bentley. That's what this car is about. I'm already loving it. But then, guess what?
The problem is that a bare-bones Bentley costs £160,000. And for £12,000 less than that, you can have this. An all singing, all dancing, everything fitted as standard 5-litre supercharged Range Rover.
Or, for £120,000 less than that, you can have this, the new Jaguar F-Pace. And it's not like this thing is a garden shed, it's got loads of clever stuff on it. So if you're coming back from the shops with your arms full of heavy bags, you can open the boot with your foot.
Yeah, but I can do that with a Range Rover.
Yes, but it's £120,000 more, and you don't get one of these. Look.
What is it?
It's a waterproof, go-anywhere bracelet that you use to lock and unlock it and start the engine, so you don't need to carry keys in your pocket.
That's actually quite a good idea, isn't it?
I know, it's
How do you
brilliant.
charge it up?
I don't know. Maybe it's like one of those watches.
Oh, hello.
Oh,
Puff Daddy is arriving.
I think he's wearing a chain. You know, that thing costs 4 times more than the Jag, and it's not like the badges are that different, is it?
That Jag is a car. This is more of a statement. This is a new way of understanding the condition of being human. It is the last word in luxury.
It's a very expensive statement, though, isn't it? I mean, if you've got
Yes.
the money to buy that, you could buy the Jag and still have £130,000 to spend on a PR agent to put you on breakfast TV talking about how great you are.
It cost £130,000 more for a reason. Jags are for deluded middle-aged men who entertain tragic fantasies about being Lotharios. I know, I've had 4 of
about
them.
brands with delusion, hello, Bentley, that's what
Guys,
What?
we are not going to sort this out in a car park. We need to go for a drive, and I have worked out a route on this map here, okay? We are in the village of Vank, and we'll go from Vank to Kissing, then on to Petting, then this place, and then Wedding.
So Vank, Kissing, Petting, Wedding.
Yes. It'll be a journey through life without leaving Central Europe.
Yeah, it will. Let's do it.
This is the racetrack we selected. It's just 60 miles from Calais and I arrived bright and early.
This is a Maserati bi-turbo. First car in the world to be fitted with 2 turbochargers. And this particular example is the sought-after S model, and it's only done 24,000 miles. And yet, despite that, all I paid for it was £7,950. So you get all this glamour, all this power, all that badge, for less than you pay in the UK for a 6-year-old Toyota Pius. Oh. Why has Richard Hammond arrived in a Ford Cortina? Oh no, wait, it isn't a Ford Cortina. It's another bi-turbo!
No, this is the 430.
It isn't.
It is.
Bi-turbo.
This isn't a bi-turbo.
It is!
That's a bi-turbo.
Hammond, I'm sorry to have to tell you this, but the Ghibli, the Racing, the Carif, the Shamal, the 222 and the 430, they were all the same car. They haven't got any money. They just changed the name badge on the back. These are the same car. Yours is very ugly, but it's the same car.
I dispute that. This is not ugly, this is elegant, this is Italian style.
It isn't.
That is a
Mine
fabulous
is
looking thing.
stylish.
Let's have a look at this. What have you got? It's a bit gaudy, mate.
You want to hear this baby fire up?
Get out! Save yourself!
Yes! Feel the power of that!
Have you seen All this, there's no other word for it, oil.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Happily, before any more could flood out, James arrived.
Ever seen a more ungainly looking machine? What's the matter? Is your door broken?
No, I'm broken. Can you hold the door for me? Thank you. Behold, the Maserati Zagato Spider.
No, bi-turbo, mate.
No, it's a Zagato
It is
Spider.
all bi-turbos. See, I think this was designed when it was owned by Citroën, which was bankrupt at the time. Then there was some guy in America who had a bit of Maserati. And then, I think the Italian government, or Fiat, they all sort of had bits of it.
Right.
And they just ran around going, we made a new car, look! And it was exactly the same as the last car, it just had a new name. Excuse me, James. So, I just want to see just... Oh, you've got like two-tone leather. But why have you got an automatic?
I bust my arm. That's why it took a long time to get out.
You really broken your arm?
Which arm have you broken?
It has made me murderously bad-tempered and intolerant of your fatuousness.
Have you
both
seriously
of you.
broken your arm?
Well, it's fractured quite badly. Don't touch it.
How did you break
I
it?
fell over.
Anyway, that's why you got an automatic?
Yes.
Is that roof electric?
No.
Hang on, no, there's a little button on the front.
Oh, right, brilliant. So it is manual.
Yes.
Anyway, we must get off. Come on, let's drive on.
Can you put the roof back up for me?
No, I'm not doing that.
This is it, the latest version of the best-selling two-seater roadster of all time. And it's easy to see why. Peppy little engine at the front, two seats in the open air in the middle, rear-wheel drive. It's the perfect sports car recipe. But layered on top of that, in this new version, you get air conditioning, heated seats, lane departure assist, cruise control, rain-sensing wipers, dusk-sensing headlamps. You just can't do any better.
Well, you can actually, because all of those luxury items you're mentioning there, they just add weight and they mean it isn't a true sports car anymore.
Yes, it is.
No, it isn't. Colin Chapman, he was the bloke who founded Lotus. He said the ethos of a sports car is simplify and add lightness. He didn't say you simplify and add electric windows.
Yep, and then he gave all his money away to a drug dealer called John DeLorean.
This, ladies and gentlemen, is what it's actually about. This is called the Xenos. You get four wheels, you get somewhere to sit, you get an engine, and that's it. It's a sports car.
Yeah. What do you do if it rains?
Well, you'd get wet.
What if you want to listen to the radio?
Why would I want to listen to the radio round here?
Does it have a heater?
Nope.
Has it got windows?
Look, if you buy a football boot, you don't expect it to be usable as a ballet shoe, do you?
But Mazda has invented a football boot that you can wear to the opera.
Look, I can guarantee that if you wear that shoe to the opera house, it isn't going
At this point, the director said he'd heard enough about shoes for one day and told us to go for a drive.
Just because they had them in the 12th century on cathedrals, whatever, it doesn't mean you have to have them now. Don't be a slave to convention.
Yeah, but people had eyelids in the 12th century and nobody's deciding, let's get rid of those, they're old hat. Oh no, I've got all dust in my eyes and I can't sleep.
Yeah, but that's completely facile, Hammond. You know exactly what I mean.
But
The
it
door... I mean, Riva speedboats don't have doors. You don't say I'm not...
This is lovely, isn't it?
What are you doing here?
Well, word reached me that you two were talking rubbish.
What do you mean, rubbish?
Well, if you want the best sports car, you don't want a Mazda or a Xenos. You want...
Oh God, he's brought an Alfa Romeo.
Yes, of course I have. Alfa Romeo 4C Spider.
This is what I'm talking about. A symphony in carbon fibre. Balance personified. The Graduate updated. A mini Ferrari, as cute as a bunny rabbit with the greatest badge in the history of motor.
How much is it?
You know perfectly well how much it is.
Yeah, we've forgotten.
Money is vulgar. You can't put a price on something as exquisite as that?
Yeah, but Alfa Romeo did put a price on it, didn't they? And what was it?
£60,000.
So you could have both of our cars and everything you see in the back of the shot here for the price of one of these Alfa Romeo.
I know,
Right?
it is extraordinary value for money.
It's too far from outside to
It's
inside.
miles.
Yes, thick sills,
Here we go.
the strength.
Look
It
at
is.
this. Rotary heater knobs.
Wow, it's like being in the 1970s.
Yeah, it is actually.
Handbrake. Look at that. Is that fixed on or has that come off?
Alfa Romeo, purveyors of disappointment for nearly 3 decades.
Look at this. Classy.
Oh,
Yeah? Feel the quality
let me
in
feel
that.
that. £60,000.
And this. So that's the noise you want to hear.
If you ever buy a new item of clothing, never show it to these two, because they're like, oh, what are you wearing that jacket for? It makes you look like a German game show host.
That's satisfying.
Why are you wearing that jacket?
Because I was at a party in India last night, and I've hurried over here.
Why did you go to the party dressed as a German game show host?
This was the meeting point we chose. The Area 27 racetrack. It was designed by F1 star Jacques Villeneuve. And it's a bit of a hidden gem. And I'd be driving round it in this, the new Alfa Romeo Stelvio.
There is no way in hell that I would buy one of these, because the saloon on which it's based is faster, cheaper, more economical and nicer to drive. But if I had to have an SUV, this is what I'd choose.
At this point, May arrived in the supercharged V6 Range Rover Velour.
Well, you've done that wrong.
No, I haven't. Look, in the first season of the Grand Tour, we did a big test of 3 large off-roaders.
Yep.
You had a Range Rover, and you went, you'd be mad not to have a Range Rover. The Range Rover's literally the best, so you can't now stand there and say that it isn't.
What I meant when I said you'd got it wrong, well, I meant 2 things. 1, you picked the wrong one, you should have had an Alpha. And 2, it's the wrong colour. I saw one of those in London the other day, and it was silver, and it's one of the best-looking cars I've ever seen.
It is a very good-looking car, yes, I agree.
Really good looking. That's just hideous. That looks like it's got a glove box full of K and MDF and...
What,
not
building materials?
No, not what do I mean? What is it? MDMA. Director knew that, weirdly.
Anyway, never mind that. What that is a Range Rover that sits between the Evoque
Yes.
and the Range Rover Sport.
I thought the Disco sat there.
Now that sits over to one side.
No, the Discovery Sport sits between the Evoque and the Range Rover. No, wait.
No, the Discovery Sport...
No, hang on, you've got Evoque.
Yes. Discovery Sport off to one side.
No, it isn't.
Yes, it is.
Why is it?
Because that's the serious off-roady bit, not the
It's
luxury
not
off-roady
serious.
bit.
Before we had a chance to get to the bottom of Land Rover's very complicated lineup, Richard Hammond arrived in a Porsche Macan.
Wow, Hammond, that is modern.
Yeah, that's where you're wrong.
He's making a habit of that.
This is the new Porsche Macan Turbo Performance Pack. You get 40 horsepower more than the standard turbo, so it makes 434 of them in total.
I'm sorry, 434?
Yeah, in there, yes.
And you managed to make it move?
Why?
505.
Italian horses. Which, let's face it, a flock of Italian horses could go from Shire to Shetland. These are German horses. They're
How many talks?
442.
443.
All right, one more.
Well, it's too many for a car on stilts.
This isn't.
It's
It's
very
look
high,
at it.
that, isn't it?
What do you mean? Of course it's high.
It looks like somebody startled it.
It's an SUV.
The next morning, after a short and hot drink-free sleep, we assembled to examine our modifications. Starting with my Jaguar F-Type.
I'm a bit disappointed, if I'm honest. It hasn't worked out quite how I imagined.
What did you imagine?
Well, you know, in the 70s and 80s, kids, when I say kids, us.
Us?
Yeah. You'd buy flared wheel arches for your escorts. And then you couldn't afford to buy big enough wheels to fill them.
Yes, net result, it looks ridiculous.
And then when you come round
It's
the back...
roughly 18 feet wide at the back.
If I hadn't bothered with the wheel arch...
Why did you put the wheel arches on, given that you haven't got wheels to fill them anyway?
But, despite everything, it's still an jet.
Oh, that's good,
Actually
actually.
says jet.
I've changed the badge.
No, you've changed the badge.
And then I've got the hornbill on the bonnet, because I've listed the air filters up.
Yeah.
Then I've gone for the Stratos light pack.
You're busy explaining your ugly baby, aren't you? These are aesthetics.
Yes, and when it comes to aesthetics, Hammond, you're on very, very thin ice.
You are, actually.
Hold on a moment.
No, there is no holding on a moment. You've brought a metro cab.
Do you want to know what it is?
It's an Aston Martin DB9,
Yes.
ruined. The ruined is what you should call it. Mine is mildly spoiled. Yours is totally ruined.
Noise, noise, noise. Headlines. It's an Aston Martin you can live in. That is a tent. It folds out. It's a house. I live at number 1 Aston Martin Street.
That's
Yeah,
a tent.
That's a tent. This is beautiful. It looks like a shark. It looks stealthy. It looks like...
Sorry, that wasn't...
It's filled with potential, and that potential is to live in it.
And why have you given it carbon fibre breasts?
Because I've raised the air intakes at the front.
Oh, so it's the same as my hornbill arrangement.
yeah, so that's what that's doing. And then I've raised the suspension.
You've got your lighting rig.
That's enough. Can I say we will go and look at my car?
No, I don't want to talk about your car.
No, you do, because...
No, I don't.
This way...
Well done, James. That is unquestionably
It does look
a
better than
good-looking
it did.
car.
It does.
You've even put nice stripes on it.
I have.
I mean, I've never liked the look of this car.
But now you do.
That actually is improved.
Where's your... How have you got your air filters up?
Actually, the bonnet is different. This is a sort of facsimile of the MC bonnet, if you remember the gigantic mid-engine supercar, and it has extra vents in it, and it has the slot there.
This is like Christmas morning and you got a better present than me. I don't feel very good.
It's exactly what it is. I'm so cross that your car looks better than my car.
Well, of course it does,
It looks damn near as good as mine.
And what's with the roll cage?
in case it rolls over.
Yes, the start point for our test was our own track in Oxfordshire. And this is what we'd assembled. I've brought the new Volkswagen Polo GTI, which has 197 horsepower. Richard Hammond has brought the new Ford Fiesta ST, which also has 197 horsepower. James May has brought the new Toyota Yaris, which has a ridiculous name, the how do you say that?
Gruminer.
It isn't Gruminer. There's no at the end. It says Grum.
It is a funny name.
What does it mean?
Gazoo Racing, Meisters of the Nürburgring.
Oh, your favourite place!
That's where it was developed.
And what is Gazoo Racing?
Gazoo Racing is Toyota's racing division. This has been done by a small group of people dedicating themselves over 2 years to making this the perfect hot hatch. Stiffened body shell, shorter springs, sax dampers. It's got a supercharger, it's got special forged wheels, it's got special tyres, it's got stiffened anti-roll bars, it's even got a different steering rack from the standard Yaris. That's proper hot hatch technology.
My car is just over 21,000. Yours is what? Just shy of 20?
Just shy of 20.
Yeah, just under 20. Over £26,000.
And worth every penny, because it's properly developed as a hot hatchback.
It's not a pretty car.
It's like
think
it's
it
put
is.
makeup on one eye. Slightly mad makeup on one eye. It's like Kiss.
It's like watching my daughters get ready in the morning. Am I done? Yeah, you're done.
Yours is a brown car.
It's not brown.
That is brown.
Oh, yeah, it is.
It isn't. It's mushroom.
The cameramen know about colour. Is it brown?
It's brown.
Definitely brown.
It's brown. There you
It's
go.
mushroom.
You may mock the idea of a Croatian supercar, but Rimac is already working with Koenigsegg and Aston Martin on their battery tech. It's a serious company, so serious that they make nearly every bit of this car themselves. Sat-nav, switchgear, headlamps, all in-house.
Apart from the leather, if you go for that, which is Bulgarian.
Oh, I love Bulgarian
It's
leather.
my favourite. But anyway, the reason I like the Aventador most is because it defines the supercar. It wasn't designed to do 1 billion round Brands Hatch. It was designed to do 9 on Knightsbridge. It was designed to make people go, wow. And it does. If you want to go fast, buy a Ferrari.
Or a Rimac.
And that's for shaving your legs, if you're a lady.
I love the Lamborghini as well, the styling especially, it's fantastic, but you know that the sort of time and thought that Lamborghini put into that, Honda put into things that they thought were important, like making a new type of steel section for that pillar so it can be smaller, so you can see out better, 10 radiators to cool the drivetrain, and lots of other stuff that make modern technology simple to use.
I just don't like it.
Well, how is that relevant? I'm talking about it and I
don't
like it. So you're wrong.
I wanted to like it, but I don't.
You're redundant.
I didn't like. I really wanted to like it. I've been 10 years looking forward to it. I wanted to like it. I got in it. I didn't like it.
But it doesn't matter because I do. I'm not. This is what I've gone for. It's the Ford F550 National Tropical, and it's 36 feet long.
Why so massive?
I wanted to modify it in such a way that I brought a small taste of home with me. Can you guess what it is?
Brown furniture.
A tea cozy.
A rusty
No.
motorcycle.
No. Follow me.
What? Holy moly!
Whoa!
Yes, welcome to the Rack and Pinion. What will it be?
I'm in the pub.
I'm staggered.
It's got peanuts on the wall, terrible pictures.
Yes,
This is fabulous.
I know.
Warm brown beer.
Yep. Would you like a glass of Lady Petrol?
Is that rosé? Lady
Yes.
Petrol?
I've equipped it with your favourite drink.
What's that?
That's for you.
Rummy's Ruin.
It's gin.
Have you remembered to ensure there are sufficient urine traces in the peanuts?
Yes, I urinated on them myself.
Can I just ask, why have you got a drawing of 3 stroke victims on the wall?
That's us. What?
Dartboard.
Yes, it's a pub. Well, darts is a fine game and helps England win a lot of wars.
Darts is for people who have no conversation.
Rubbish.
Who wants to go to the pub and do maths?
It's no good coming in here telling me what you want your pub to be
I don't
like.
want
This
my
is my pub. This is what it's like. This is a traditional pub. This is what they look like.
This is great, it works. We're already talking pub bollocks.
James, it's my job to ridicule you, obviously. But I can't, because apart from the dartboard, you've done an incredible job.
Thank you.
But it isn't quite as incredible as the job I've done.
Whoa!
I've gone, as you can see, for a nautical theme.
In the desert.
Yes, bear with me. Two-tone paintwork, obviously. Jet ski on the back. And then, up on the top, and this really is the pièce de résistance, the flying bridge.
What, so you can drive it from outside?
Why would you not do that?
Because you built it.
I hate jet skis, by the way.
Yeah, I know, but it's just, you told me my hatred of darts is irrelevant. Your
It
hatred...
does kept mentioning it.
nautical. It does look
Shoes
nautical.
off,
even- what?
shoes off.
What?
Shoes off.
Why?
It's a boat.
Oh, I hate that. I could afford £2 million on a boat, but not a new bit of carpet if you get some dust on it off your shoes.
It's a bit Surrey.
Off.
Oh, God.
Right, good.
Right, boots are off. Whoa!
What?
Is this all bathroom?
Yes, obviously, a lavatory.
What?
Shower here, tiled, as you can see. Tasteful. Sink unit, vanity mirror, restrained. And just pop this open, like so.
Wow.
Lower the flap, which means that in the morning I can sit down and I can see the pub. As we know, luxury is defined by light and space. Mm-hmm. So this is a luxurious bomb.
Correct.
And also, look, this is not some camping lavatory where you defecate on a piece of plastic. Observe.
It's a proper thing. Bang, where does that go?
Underneath the RV.
What, like a tank or something?
No, underneath the RV.
Well, you're going to drive off in your bathroom, leaving behind a mound of turds.
Yes.
Where are you going to sleep?
Here. This is the exact same width as my forearm.
Oh, yes.
Well, that's more of a cupboard, really, isn't it?
The roof, however, was a different story.
Whoa.
Oh, I say. Well, this is wasted space normally, isn't it?
Exactly.
It's pretty good, this, Hammond.
But hang on a minute.
What?
This is very impressive. It's very...
Oh, yes. Oh.
So, this will be something to look forward to.
Yeah, don't let skin touch anything.
Right, so assuming you were able to sit in the scaldingly hot seat
Yes.
under the blazing sun,
Yes.
how does it work? Have you got brakes and accelerator and...
Accelerating. Braking.
Right.
Gears.
Oh, so it really is a boat.
Yeah. Look, the way I see it is this, gentlemen. Almost no one would want to go on holiday in a 36-foot caravan. But everybody would bite your arm off to go on holiday in a 36-foot gin palace.
You're right, they're not really that different, are
No,
they?
just one floats on water and one goes on land. Right, Hammond.
Yes.
Where's yours?
Over there.
What, behind the lorry?
No, it is the lorry, that's it.
That's not an RV.
It is, look, it's big, I can sleep on it, and it's got a bike on the back. That's a recreational vehicle right there.
This we have got to see, May.
It's big and it needs to move along, so a truck is the obvious answer. So
What
there's
sort of truck is it?
I don't know, truck.
These are the ones that used to be the U-Haul lorry. Oh!
You've still got the sign of the previous owner on it.
Doesn't matter. Come aboard, leave your shoes on, because this wood is very splintery. Here's the living accommodation.
What living accommodation?
There's a bed. There, bed. Telescope in case I get bored in the evening. And then rocking chair in case of visitors, and a motorcycle on the back.
So just 2 secs. Stacks.
Yeah,
Engine?
it's got V8.
Whose?
Mine now, I bought the truck.
You have made no effort whatsoever.
Oh, no, now I have, but I've distilled it down. I haven't wasted time and effort on complicated stuff I don't need. This is honest.
So when you come to I say, please, Jeremy, can I borrow your lavatory in the morning? I'm going to say no, because you accuse me of wasting time.
And if you want to come to my pub for a drink of your gin, which I've put on tap especially for you, I'll say, no, it's just a waste of time, Hannah.
Oh, I didn't realise we were setting up a sort of stock exchange of resources needed by the roaming camper.
Hammond,
Yes?
your lorry, I'm not going to call it an RV,
It isn't an RV.
is dismal.
God's truth.
This is what I've built. It's as close as you can possibly get to the original 1964 beach buggy built by Bruce Myers. Underneath, it is a 1950s Beetle. Beetle floor pan, Beetle suspension, Beetle engine, Beetle gearbox. It's got Beetle lights on it. I've even got a Beetle speedometer and Beetle hubcaps. It's brilliant. This is a beach buggy very like the one that Steve McQueen drove in the original Thomas Crown affair. And if it's good enough for... Oh, God. I've been joined by the 1970s.
Yes. James May has built what a beach buggy was. What I built is what a beach buggy can be. If you have a bit of imagination and some purple metal flake paint. There, I believe, is the start point of our adventure. What an extraordinary place.
It's amazing, isn't it? I mean, more seals.
What David Attenborough never told us about those
I know
is
what you-
how bad they smell.
Sadly, before our nature documentary could go any further, Richard Hammond emerged from the mist.
Oh, hello. That's not a beach buggy, is it?
Well, I wouldn't call that. Oh, jeez.
Ladies and gentlemen, Dick Tari.
Behold!
What are you wearing?
What are you wearing?
I'm in Africa.
These trousers, did they say in the shop, I'm afraid they are yellow, sir.
When he left, they went, yes, 20 years we've had those on the hanger.
And then we must move over to this.
Yeah.
We were told to build beach buggies.
Yes?
Beach buggies.
It's not a beach buggy.
It isn't. Hammond.
It is a beach buggy.
It isn't a beach buggy. It's got a roof.
It is.
There's no beetle in here at all.
Yes, there is. Beetle engine in there.
Hammond, okay, this space frame chassis,
Yeah.
is that from a Beetle?
No.
These enormous suspension components
Yes.
that don't even fit under the bodywork.
Well, you've got 2 lots of suspension at the back. Why have
Twin
you got-
shocks. Well,
Twin shocks?
you know, I like an off-road sort of vibe.
To get here, we had to drive on a beach.
Yeah.
Ours have made it.
I didn't need 2 lots of rear suspension on mine.
Neither did I.
Look, we were told to come to Africa.
Yes.
If we'd been told to go to Santa Monica Beach, then this, with its incredibly vivid paint, that's the most metal flake I've ever seen
Any
on...
beach in the world.
Hang on, what's
What?
that?
That's the engine.
What engine is it?
V8. I'll put a V8 in a beach buggy.
Well, no, you haven't. You've parked your beach buggy quite close. It's not in it.
It isn't in it. No. You've reversed into a V8, but not quite hard enough. It's only gone in a third of the way.
Do you have any idea how difficult it is to fit a V8 to a beach buggy?
Well, it doesn't
It's obviously
fit.
impossible.
Evidently, it's impossible.
This is no ordinary V8. Started out in life as a 3.5 litre V8 from a Range Rover, but I've modified it. So it produces 180 horsepower.
Can I just say, you were doubting the credibility of mine as a beach buggy.
Yep.
The defining characteristic of a beach buggy is it air-cooled, back-four, Beetle engine.
No, that's not an engine, James. That's just a fan. How many horsepower does yours have?
94.
So I have twice as many horsepower. Shall I tell you something?
They're not in the car, though.
No,
They
they're
are. They're near it.
Yes.
It's interesting, isn't it? I mean, that
Yes,
is
it is
Nothing about that is
interesting.
interesting.
Well, this is a blank canvas onto which you can paint your personality.
Yes.
Yours has got a Prolapse V8 hanging out of its backside and terrible paint. Mine is a rather magnificent Actari-themed off-roader. That's got nothing on it. You can express
This is a bit
all
boring,
your personality in your standard.
It's not. What do you mean standard?
Well,
it's
it's
a beach
standard.
buggy.
It's
It's
just-
tasteful.
What?